And we just wanna be wanted, running from real life, perfect persona, fucked up in real life, wanna be wasting my whole life, chasing, yeah, ay, wanna be wanted, running from real life, perfect.
Currently at Madison Social, I got some sliders and fries, which is pretty basic, but that's what happens when you go to a restaurant and you don't know what to order. I might come here one day for brunch because they have some chicken and waffles that looks really good, but they only serve it on Saturday and Sunday, so might have to come here when I get back in town. But yeah, I'm excited to eat. I'm hot. They gave me water. It's super cute. I mean, I think that's what they're supposed to do, but still, I like the way they gave it to me. But yeah, I feel way less hot now that I'm not in the sun because I was sweating so much. I had to stop in the bathroom and like wipe my body off. It was so bad. But I'm grateful to be here on Earth. And even though it didn't go as planned, I'm still gonna upload this video taking myself on a date because that's what I'm doing. And I wanted to add like some talking points for how to like cope with being alone and not feeling lonely, and also becoming your own best friend. Okay y'all, so now I'm gonna get into basically what I was gonna talk about when I was eating, but I didn't get to do that because I didn't do a mukbang. I actually went to a restaurant. But the first thing that I wanted to go over, since this is like a video based on taking yourself out, being your own best friend, I'm gonna go over the history, my history with friends, well, mainly fake friends, because that's unfortunately what I've had the most of is fake friends. In my freshman year, I came here and I was super excited and super open-minded. I really let anybody in. I hung out with anyone. I talked to anyone. I was friends with anyone. And because I wasn't very selective, and I also wasn't really like self-aware at all, I would just hang out with anybody. And it didn't matter if the person was draining my energy. I never really realized it. I would just be with these people that were draining me and being negative towards me, putting me down and stuff like that. I know sometimes it's hard to tell when you have a fake friend, but it's also way easier than you think. A lot of times that we think are jokes or just like little things that people say, we need to take that into consideration. I had a friend and she would make fun of me a lot around other people, mostly guys, and in the moment I never really realized that that was something that people do when they want to take the attention off of you and kind of make you seem less than to make themselves seem better. I didn't realize that at the time because I wasn't as smart as I am now and experienced as I am now. But yeah, she would just always put me down, call me dumb, call me slow, call me ugly, like in front of guys, just to, I guess, make herself feel better about herself. Like now that I'm looking back at these situations, I know now she was never my friend, but in the moment I really did think this girl was like my best friend, and I would like overlook a lot of the things she did. There was this other time that she was in like this group chat with a bunch of girls from like around the world, because I guess they're like army kids or whatever. I was with her, remember this, I was with her when this was happening. So I don't know if she sent me in their group chat because she was with me and they wanted to know who she was with or something like that, but moral of the story is she sent me in their group chat and I was with her when this happened, and they were like talking smack about me and how I look. Like, these girls don't know me, they don't know anything about me, never met me, never seen me in real life, none of that. All they could really like comment about is how I look, and they were commenting about like how bad my eyebrows were or something like stupid and petty like that. And she was just sitting there and I was sitting with her at the dining hall and she's just like laughing and just, you know, carrying on. And I'm like, what's funny, like what's going on? And she's like, oh, nothing, nothing, like they were just talking, whatever. And then I get a random DM, right, from this random girl. Don't follow her, she doesn't really follow me, she's in my request, and she's like, hey, do you want to be added to a group chat? And I look up and I'm like talking to my friend, I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl just like randomly messaged me asking me if I wanted to be in a group chat. Like, that's so cool. Like, I've never been in a group chat with a bunch of girls, right? And she was like, oh my gosh, no, don't be in it, that's the girl that's in my group chat, I told them not to message you, blah 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 blah. And then the girl like proceeds to DM me about like, oh, like I want to give you makeup tips type shit or something like that. And I was like, makeup tips, like what? And then she finally like told me what they were talking about in the group chat and how they were talking about my eyebrows. And she was just like sitting there laughing with them, and she didn't tell me what was going on until the girl from the group chat messaged me. So this whole time she was laughing at me and I didn't even know. And there's so many other times, like I was also friends with her and these two other girls, and they had their own separate group chat that I was not in, and they would talk about it and talk about the group chat, and they would have like separate inside jokes that I didn't know about. Even though we were a group of 4, it was more like they were a group and then there was me. It was just a lot, and I'm so happy I'm not their friends anymore. I'm so happy that I've grown and learned about myself. And it really did take me falling out with those people to actually take the time to learn myself, learn my hobbies, learn what I like, and learn that I'm actually an introvert and I don't like being around people. I much rather be by myself. And it was just weird because my freshman year I was so extroverted, and I feel like I was just forcing myself to be that way, to like make friends in college, fit in, you know, I was in a new environment, I had the chance to reinvent myself, like all that stuff. And I was just more so doing things that were outside of me than things that are me. So with that being said, I feel like it's very important to take the time to learn yourself, learn what you like to do, learn your hobbies, learn what you don't like. Are you an introvert? Are you an extrovert? What's your personality type? There's personality tests that you can take online. The Myers-Briggs ones are really good. I'm gonna try to leave a link in the description so you can take a personality test and just like get to know yourself more. At the end of the test, it shows you like your separate categories, what percent introvert are you, and a bunch of stuff. It goes into like a bunch of details, and you can click on each thing and read like different articles depending on your personality type. So if you take the personality test, comment your personality type down below. I'm very interested to know. But yeah, just like take time to yourself and figure out what you like. The first thing to really figuring out what you like is figuring out your hobbies. What do you like to do in your free time when you're not doing anything? I personally found my passion for sewing, thrifting, and fashion when I stopped being friends with those girls. It took about 2 years for me to really start like looking inward and figuring out myself. The moment that I had all the time to myself and I wasn't around these girls anymore because we weren't friends, I wasn't hanging out with them, I wasn't going out every weekend, I wasn't doing all these things with them every day. Like I had so much time to myself, I had no choice but to like figure out who I am. Like, who's Egypt? What is she like? Because I really didn't know. So yeah, that's a lesson that I learned while being alone. I figured out my hobbies, what I like to do. I was able to monetize my hobby of sewing and make it into a business. So my business is called Egypt's Touch, if you don't know, and I make handmade sustainable clothing, one-of-one items that you can purchase in my description box. So yeah, spending time alone overall will help you build a better relationship with yourself. I feel like you should treat your personal relationship with yourself as you would another relationship with a person, whether that be a friendship or a boyfriend. You have those relationships, you have family relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, platonic relationships, and you also have your personal relationship. A lot of times our personal relationship is the one that needs the most work, because obviously throughout the day we doubt ourselves, we battle with ourselves in our mind, and I feel like we should value the relationship that we have with ourselves the most, because that's what's going to take you farther. The more you love yourself, the more you can love and be friends with other people and treat other people well, because you treat yourself well. If you are treating yourself negatively, you hate yourself, you don't like how you look, you don't like how you think or anything like that, you can't really put positive things into other people. So if you're having a lot of failed friendships and failed relationships, I feel like it is time for you to take time to yourself and look inward, work on yourself, work on loving yourself, work on getting to know yourself, because you really can't pursue any other friendships or relationships until you have a strong relationship with yourself, because anything that you have going on projects to the outside world, which is why a lot of times when people are insecure about themselves, they tend to be mean to other people that may have something that they want, or confident people, or just in general. Like the example with my friend, she would put me down a lot, probably because she did not feel that good about herself. Most of the time, that's the reason why these things happen. So don't take it personal if someone is being mean to you or putting you down or isn't treating you right, because most likely it's because they are not treating themselves right, and they don't treat themselves right, and they're still battling with themselves. So they're literally going to be battling with everyone in their life because of that internal battle. So I'm just here to emphasize the importance of taking time to yourself, taking yourself out, figuring out what you like to do, going places alone, getting comfortable with being alone but not feeling lonely. You can be alone without feeling lonely, and I am so happy that I learned that. Like, I literally love spending time to myself. I get sometimes annoyed when people are around me too much, or like I don't have enough time to reset. Like, I feel like my socialness runs on a battery, and that's why I always say like my social meter is running low, because if I'm alone all the time, the moment that I go out, I'm gonna be on a high because I've had so much time to recharge and just like chill with myself and vibe. So when I go out, I'm gonna be more social than I usually am. But if it's a time where I'm going out back to back to back, or seeing people like every single day, by the time it gets to like the second day, I'm going to be super tired, exhausted, and that's when I'm gonna start, you know, reverting into my shell and being more of an introvert, because I literally lack the social capacity to people. So yeah, that's something that I had to learn about myself. Also, spending time alone has helped me a lot with gaining confidence. I do affirmations and manifestations, and yoga has also helped with my confidence. And I feel like gaining new hobbies as well has helped with my confidence, because I feel like I have a purpose. Having talents, like being talented, is just like a flex. So it's like, how can I not be confident about the fact that I can sew, I can edit, I have a great fashion sense, I'm a thrift god. You know, when you start figuring out these things about yourself, you have more things to like, you know. So if you figure out, damn, I could really play basketball, or I could really roller skate, or I really know how to draw, I really know how to paint, I really have a creative mind, you have more to like about yourself. So now you're not really like sitting in your bed and being like, oh my gosh, I'm so lazy. Now you're like, damn, look at this beautiful piece of art that I've created, you know. So I feel like creativity has helped me a lot with my confidence too. Having a creative mind makes me feel so unique. Like, no one else has my mind, no one else is able to create the way that I do. Even if you know how to sew, like, we all have our own minds and our own talents. I feel like everyone is gifted. It's just a matter of figuring out what your gift is, you know. And a lot of us don't really take the time to figure out what our gifts are. We're just working, going to school, hanging out with friends, and repeating that over and over again. Never really hanging out with ourselves, or journaling, or just like letting ourselves rewrite to see what is up in our mind, you know. But yeah, overall, I am super in tune with myself. I move through the world on my own rhythm, my own beat, my own drum, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like that is one of my greatest accomplishments, is like loving myself, because I had a very hard time getting here. And I wouldn't say it took a while, because I'm 20 and I'm here, and I feel like some people, you know, they realize this type of stuff way later in their lives. So maybe I did realize it early, but in my opinion, it took a while. Well, it feels like it took a while, because I was negative towards myself longer than I've been positive. So it kind of feels like it took a long time to get here, but I'm just happy to be here. And yeah, I hope you guys can take away something from this video. Take yourself on a picnic, a day out to eat, skating, whatever you like to do it by yourself. See how that feels. Don't be afraid of people like I am sometimes. Most of the time when we think people are thinking things of us, it's usually in our heads. So if you just go through the world and, you know, move through the world as if you're really the only person moving through it, or just like other people are thinking about their own lives, then it's kind of easier. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope you guys do take time to yourself and learn yourself and learn to love yourself and realize that you have gifts, you're talented, and you're an amazing person, and you just need to learn that. So yeah, and don't take shit from anybody. Don't let anybody put you down. If they're putting you down, they are not your friend. Like, honestly, friends are supposed to uplift each other. If you're not uplifting me, providing positivity, motivation, support, then what are you doing? Why are you here? Why are you here? Then you gotta go. You know, don't be afraid to cut people off. I know sometimes we hold on to the amount of time and the memories, but some people are not meant to be in your life forever. Some people are just here to teach you a lesson, and that's that. I will see you guys in my next video, and stay true to you.